King carrying the bitch. They stay. They can stop it. Our little jack up it. I don't know about you, but I'm good. I don't talk to you, still good. I don't work for you, but always be good. Even if you double your size, you can famous. Call me big. Hey, stay. They can stop it. Our little jack up it. King carrying the bitch. Hey, stay. They can stop it. Our little jack up it. Let it go, let it go, let it go. They know better, they can try no more. They see coming, we can't go no more. I'm dead, I can't even die no more. I need people I don't know no more. Some people I don't see no more. So much pain, can't do no more. But I forgive you, see no more. Deep one day, cash in the bank. I'm spicy love, what's next? They compete, but they can't contest. I'm your dreams, hey. I mean, you were seen in there. Seen in there. I mean, you were seen in there. Call me big. Hey, stay. They can stop it. Our little jack up it. King carrying the bitch. Hey, stay. They can stop it. Our little jack up it. Somebody talking say the bottom on the horse. They say the bottom on the horse. But when something happen, I really want to call. Somebody talking say the bottom on the horse. They say the bottom on the horse. But when something happen, I really want to call. Baby.
Communication becomes convenient, enjoyable, and cheaper when you have the best application in your hand. Depro Global Social Media app gives you access to free global communication and networking. With the Depro Global Social Media app, you can do live video chat, live audio calling, live text messaging, live group video and audio conferencing. Not only that, you also do fast sharing, creating and posting to your story, post engagement, emojis, and more. The Depro Global Social Media app does in-app purchases, in-app searching, storytelling. The app also allows you to create video, audio, text, and internet link posting. Get the best app today with 100% data security and end-to-end encryption. Add customization and privacy settings to the Depro Global Social Media app and enjoy 24/7 endless communication. Download the Depro Global Social Media app on Google Play Store and Apple Store and enjoy endless communication. Visit our website on www.depro-idb.com or email us at info@depro-idb.com. Depro Global Social Media app, making communication easier. Do you care to know why thousands of people have switched from using oil-bomb paint to using Une Zize quality paint? Zize quality paint is a high-quality American non-hazard latex paint that doesn't fade or peel off your walls when applied. Zize quality paint comes in variety of colors that you can choose from. We even customize our customers' paint based on their request just to satisfy their desire. Stop by at any of our 3 branches at Police Academy Junction opposite NP Fueling Station, Baptist Seminary opposite Highway Gas Station, and St. Paul Bridge opposite Michael Plaza. Zize quality paint can be used for both interior and exterior painting works. Customers living overseas can pay through Zelle on 217-720-8858. You can contact us via cell numbers 0777-366-142 or 0770-496-273 or +121-772-08858. Think Zize, think quality.
Spicy love, what's next?
Made with ginger, coconut water, natural juice flavor, vitamins and minerals is Muncie Power Drink. Muncie Power Drink helps reduce high blood pressure, get rid of toxins, help improve children and adult memory. It also helps the body fight effects of excess sugar. Muncie Power Drink has no added sugar, no artificial flavors, and all natural ingredients. It is a healthy drink for just everybody. It has 4 natural juice flavors: pineapple, mango, strawberry, and turmeric. For wholesale or retail purchase, visit major supermarkets across Monrovia and its environs. If you are outside Monrovia, you can do your purchase at Kakata Supermarket and Ataro Business Center in Ganta. You can also visit our store on the O Road, right next to the American School. For more information, call us on 0770 307 572 or 0776 580 730. Muncie Power Drink, not just your regular energy drink.
And I want to carry my
Allen Bernard International, or ABR, is a management consulting firm with a team of consultants and associates who focus on growing and transforming home healthcare agencies, nonprofits, and small businesses in other industries as well as individuals. Our services include ABR Business Support Services, ABR Accounting and Tax Services, and ABR Anti-Money Laundering Compliance Services. At ABR, we bring to each assignment dedication and commitment, experience and skills, performance-based process, integrated solution teams, and client relations. For more inquiries on our services, call phone number 469-378-3955. That's Allen Bernard International, or ABR, transforming business through ideas.
Do you need a car?
Ready for an upgrade?
Then come to Sika Motors, sole distributors of Toyota vehicles, Mitsubishi vehicles, and Yamaha motorbikes, genuine accessories and spare parts.
You name it, we have it. We have the 2022 brands of Toyota vehicles. Select from our new Toyota Starlight,
Toyota Belter, Toyota Rush.
We've got the best deal in town. Through our Sika Motors financing schemes with selected banks, EcoBank Liberia and UBA Liberia, starting at the lowest as 500 USD. You won't believe these prices. Come for quality, reliability, and durability. Take a spin and let's make a deal.
Sika Motors on the UN Drive at Sailtown, Bushra Island, or call Sika Motors on +231 775 987 758 or email cmarketing@cfao.com. Sika Motors, drive with confidence.
We all know the headache we go through sending money to our loved ones, friends, and family in Liberia. High fees, long lines in banks, the usual complaint of the system being down, such a waste of time and energy. That is why I was very happy when I learned that Sendwave is now in Liberia. So now I can send money anytime from anywhere directly from my smartphone to the MTN Lone Star Cell mobile money account of a loved one, friend, or family within seconds for just a tiny fee. So download Sendwave now to your phone from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. Add your details, and don't worry, they are very safe and secure. And start sending money today. Don't forget to insert the promo code COSTA to get free $5 credit added to your first transfer. Sendwave is secure, super fast, and by far the most affordable way to send money to Liberia. I'm Henry P. Costa and a very happy customer. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. What's up, guy?
Good morning, Costa. Good morning to our many listeners, and good to be here this morning again with another brand new edition of the Costa Morning Show. Okay, so folks, welcome. Today is Monday, the 20th of the month of love. Yeah, you know, they say February is a month of love, so people stay celebrating. Some people stay on holiday celebrating a Valentine. So we want to say good morning. Welcome to yet another edition, another special edition of the Costa Morning Show. Buakai Amara Kamara is my name. Heren Pedro Costa is there in the United States of America. And today is going to be so fascinating. All you have to do, sit back, relax, increase the volume of your receiver, because we will give you everything as you want it. For those that normally say no sound, all you have to do just refresh your device. Yeah, you will get us loud and clear. And we are also on D15 Radio 98.1. So there's this news about us. You know, Liberia is a country that the issue about rice shouldn't be giving us hard time. We have a lot of other things to talk about, but before I can set up, let me just bring this in. The issue about rice, we shouldn't be begging other countries for rice. But now, Liberia again benefited 1,500 metric tons of Japanese rice from our friends in Japan. And this rice was given to the government for the Liberian people. I'm flagging this because few days from now or months from now, you will see this government distributing the rice, making it look like they are providing the rice for the Liberian people. So for us, we'll have to make the Liberian people know where this rice is coming from. And when you see them coming in your community, donating the rice to you, make them know that this rice is not from the Liberian government. It's not from Weah and his people. No, this rice is from the Japanese people to us, the Liberians. But what I'm hearing against, they say instead of giving the rice to the Liberian people, they're trying to monetize the rice, meaning they will sell the rice and use the money for other things. But what are selling the rice or bringing the rice to donate it to you, just know that the rice is not from the government of Liberia. The rice is from the Japanese people to the Liberian people. It was a donation from the people of Japan to us, the Liberians. 1,500 metric tons. Costa?
Yeah, Boga. What kind of rice are you talking about?
The Japanese donated 1,500 metric tons of rice to us, the Liberians, a few days ago. And we are hearing that the government trying to monetize the rice. But for us here on the Costa Show, we have to make the Liberian know what are they monetizing it, or later on they will be giving it to Liberians. We have to let them know that this rice is not from the Liberian government. It's not from Weah and his gang. They should know that their rice is from the Japanese people. They shouldn't come and make it look like, oh, we are the one providing the rice for you people. No.
Yeah, let me hold you there. When this would not be the first time the Japanese has donated rice to Liberia. They donate rice to Liberia all the time. Yeah. And they give the rice with a caveat. The rice is to be sold so that the proceeds generated therefrom be used for social development. They've been doing this for a long time, even when Ellen was in power. So the rice is not to be donated to people. The rice is to be sold. It's not for free. What they do is that, say the Japanese want to fund a particular project. You know what they do? They will either pay for it cash, or they will give you rice to sell, to use the funds to do the project. That's what the Japanese do. There was a time when Ellen was in power, there was a particular consignment of rice that was brought and sold, and that the proceeds from that sale was they abused it. It was subjected to massive corruption. So this has always been the case. And you remember we jumped on that case. That was many years ago. I don't know whether you recall, but that was towards the end of the Ellen administration. So they always do this, Buckeye. So the rice is not meant for free distribution. It is not meant for that. However, though, the government should not sell it at an exorbitant price. And normally the government does not sell the rice to people. What the government does is that the government, because they sign an agreement, Buckeye. They don't just give you the rice. They sign an agreement with you. They tell you, take the rice and sell it and use the funds for social development. Oftentimes, they will specify the particular project they want you to fund with the proceeds from the sale of the rice. So that's what they often do, Buckeye. So do not expect that the rice will be distributed free. When was the last time any rice was distributed free? We receive rice all the time. It's never distributed among the people free of charge. I just wanted to provide an education because we have a duty to educate and inform our people. So what Bwaga is saying about the rice is true that the Japanese have given us rice, but the rice is not meant for free distribution. It is not meant for that. I just want to point that out. Is the rice in country now, Bwaga? Is it in country yet?
Yep, the rice is here already.
Okay. Now, clearly, you and I both don't trust this government. They're most likely going to steal the money when they sell the rice. You know that. I mean, it happened early in time. We were on this show talking about it. Millions of dollars was generated. They generated millions of dollars from one of those sales, and that caused a big problem. In fact, when they generated the thing, the money was supposed to be used by the people, the folks at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs people were in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And Elias Shonian at the time was Deputy Minister for Legal Services. I mean, the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs or something. And he was caught up in this whole thing because it said, it was under his guidance or direction or whatever that the rice was sold. And it was a whole lot of stuff. But we did our investigation. There was an audit conducted, and we realized Shonian did not steal the money. So, I just want to point that out. So they're gonna steal the money. They're gonna sell the rice and they're gonna steal the money. That's what's gonna happen. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Yeah, but anyway, let's move on to something else here. Prince Johnson, the MDR, Prince Johnson's party. This is what I told you all. Prince Johnson behaves as though he is still the political leader of his party. I told you all, there was no way Prince Johnson was actually stepping back for Jeremiah Kong to run any party. I told you, Prince Johnson is still behaving as though he is the leader of the party. And that is why we in our organization, we need to be very careful. And I want to say this to our people, and I have intimated this, and I want to be very clear. I will not hide this from the public. Listen to me well. I'm going to break something here so the public knows this. The day after JMB met with Prince Johnson, the Americans reached out to us. They reached out to me in particular. I want to announce this. The reason I even took my Facebook post down, and I apologize for even posting that post. I want to make this clear. We have to choose between moral sanctity or whether we just want to win at all costs. The United States Embassy reached out to me the day after JNB met with Prince Johnson, and they are not happy at all. And I will say this publicly. That's why I took my post down, the post that I made for Prince Johnson meeting with. Now, does that mean that the Americans dictate to us or tell us what to do? No, of course not. But the point is that there are consequences. Do we want to offend the Americans when we have no real commitment from Prince Johnson? Do we know for a fact that if most of our supporters are not happy about us dealing with Prince Johnson? You all saw the posts. The comments under my post. Most of our supporters were very, very angry. So I'm just going to tell you the truth. The truth of the matter is that the Americans reached out and they are not happy about us dealing with Prince Johnson. Period. I'm not going to hide this from you. I'm going to tell you this. And I have communicated that with our folks, way up the chain. I've told our folks, I've told my political leader, I've told JNB, I've told all of them, this is what the Americans, and when I'm talking about the Americans, I'm not talking about just some guy at the American embassy. I'm talking about top level people at the American embassy reached out to me, and they are not happy at all. Now you could say, oh, we don't care about what the Americans want or what the Americans don't want. It's up to you. But I'm just telling you, do we want to offend the Americans over Prince Johnson? Does that, and is there any guarantee that Prince Johnson is going to even support us? Does anybody in our camp have any confidence? Does anybody in our camp know for a fact that Prince Johnson would be supporting us? Should we offend the Americans or our international partners? Not just Americans. I care about what the Chinese think. I care about what the Europeans think. You know why? Because they are our partners. The Chinese are our partners. the Americans are our partners. Of course, the Americans, while they might be our oldest traditional ally, but the Chinese have also become very good friends of our country. They've done tons of things in our country. Now, I know sometimes because of the geopolitical rivalry that's going on between China and America, and China being, being tapped to be, is said to be poised to eclipse America economically in the next 50 years. I don't see how that's going to happen, but that's likely. But we have to maintain a balance, strike a balance between our relationships with these powerful nations. Of course, China is extremely important to us. The U.S. is extremely important to us, but the U.S. is our oldest traditional ally. Do we want to offend the Americans for the sake of Prince Johnson? Do we want to? That is the question I'm asking you, folks. Let me ask you this question, and now answer me. Do you want to offend a real friend for a friend that you are not sure of? Answer the question, yes or no. Do you want to offend a real friend for a friend that you are not sure of? Do you want to offend a real friend? If you want to say yes, to hell with the Americans, or to hell with the Chinese, or to hell with the Europeans. I'll ask the question again. Do you want to offend a real friend for a friend that you're not sure of? Oh, everybody seems to say no. Oh my God. I'm going to ask the question again. The Americans are not happy about dealing with Prince Johnson. The Prince Johnson people might not like what I'm saying, but I will tell the people the truth, because the Americans reached out to me, and I told our leaders. I told my leader, Bernard Ure. I told my leader, Joe Walker. I told them. I told all our friends that this is what the Americans have said. So I'm going to ask you the question again. Do we want to offend the United States of America, that is the biggest contributor to the campaign, the elections? Who's paying the most money? The U.S. government is paying the most, $20 million for our election. Do we want to offend them for a man that we are not sure of? Answer my question. Now, I heard some people in our camp saying, oh, we're proposing that we sign an MOU with Prince Johnson. I've spoken with my political leader on the year, and I've asked him. I said, we should not sign any MOU with Prince Johnson. If anybody wants to sign an MOU, we should not sign an MOU. We should not affix our signature to a document with Prince Johnson. I do not want to piss Uncle Ben off for Prince Johnson. I do not want to piss the Chinese off for anybody, the Europeans off for anybody, for whose loyalty or whose consistency or whose commitment I am not certain of.
Costa, they go far.
The hand is better than the 1,000 in the sky. Go ahead, Walker.
They gone Friday. You were not on a show, and there was the same.
I said no. Jesus Christ! Every single person. Sorry for interrupting you, Walker, but every single person is saying no. Jesus Christ! Keep giving your answer. No. Everybody says no. Go ahead, Walker. Proceed.
Yeah, because you're not on a show on Friday. This was the same thing I discussed on the show, and people were, all against me. Why you never waited for the outcome of the meeting? You are discussing your boss, Henry Costa, will be so disappointed in you. I said, no. Costa is different from Boakai. Costa, I can go a lot. Sometimes we don't agree on things, but I know for a fact that the meeting between former Vice President Joseph Boakai and Prince Johnson, for me, I don't support it at all. And that was the thing that I said here on Friday. A lot of people came out, oh, Boakai, you are not doing well for the Unity Party. You are not. You shouldn't be saying this. You shouldn't be saying that. And now this is where we are. This is where we are today. The Americans are all coming out now to let us know that it was not good. And that was just my point on Friday, cause.
Well, that's it. I want to say this to you. That we owe you certain things, and we are telling you this. Are we that desperate to win an election, and that we will do absolutely anything? No, we can win. We can win. We'll focus on the people. We will do exactly what's needed to be done. So my job is to inform you that We have to be very careful. Yes, I did. I posted the pictures. I took my post down. I did. I just told you that. And the reason I took my post down is because they informed me that they were not happy about it. And so I took my post down. You know me, I will tell you all the truth. I did post, but I took my post down. When from that level, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I understand, but I took my post down. So the point is that I'm glad all of our people here, Walker, I'm yet to see absolutely anybody who says to hell with America. I'm yet to see anybody say that. Nobody's saying that. So they are our friends. When they express a concern, of course, in a diplomatic parlance, they will say concern, but in the parlance of us ordinary people, we would say unhappy. So they are concerned, to put it diplomatically. They are very concerned. And so, but some people, most of our people are jittery and they are circumspect. And of course, for the right reasons. I mean, who wouldn't be? So I've advised my people that we should stay clear of this gentleman. These things are very serious issues. Somebody is telling me, this discussion should be sensitive and discussed behind closed doors. No, I'm sorry. I have a duty to my audience. There were people who were asking me, why did you take the post down? I have to tell the audience that the reason I took the post down is because our people, our most important diplomatic friends or our allies communicated with me and told me that they were concerned about our engagement with Prince Johnson. So, of course, that's why I took my post down. That's why I'm telling you. All right. Now, some people are not going to be happy that I said that, but do I really care?
Some people want for it to be done beyond closed door, but
yeah, and Baga, this is interesting. Look, let me tell you something, Baga. This is interesting, and I want to encourage you. I would like to encourage you, all of you, as in you, our audience, the thousands of you listening via radio 98.1 as we speak, the thousands of you watching across the online platforms, YouTube, Facebook, MindTuner, the website, SoundCloud, which we're going to upload a thing. I want to encourage every one of you to go and read the Department of State and the Department of the Treasury press releases about why Prince Johnson was sanctioned. Go and read it. I have it here. Oftentimes when these things break, we don't take the time ourselves to read these things in order to digest them and fully understand what it is that they really convey or say. But go and read it. And it says basically that you shouldn't touch this man with a 10-foot totem pole. You should stay as far away from him as possible. And there are consequences. There are legal exposure. There is legal exposure, potential legal exposure. There are lots of things. You recall, the Americans made the argument that if Prince Johnson had remained as chairman of the Committee on Defense, they would have pulled the support from the military. The U.S. government has supported our military from the very inception. From the time they brought the SSR, the security sector reform, they brought that company, DynCorp, and they trained the army and they equipped the army and all of that. They said, "Look, we're not going to do anything with this man." So I'm just telling you. That's it. All right. So that's it. So speaking of this Prince Johnson man, this is something else that came out. Their party, they reached out. I have this recording here, Boakai, and they say that George Manenguia tried to visit Prince Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and they said Prince Johnson rejected George Weah's visit. That's what they said. That's what they said. They said George Weah attempted to pay a courtesy call on the senator, but the thing was the senator declined Mr. Weah's visit. The senator refused the thing. Yeah. All right. So I said to myself,
Costa, I thought the president was just lambasting Prince Johnson a few days ago at his church calling him all the means.
But do you really believe George Weah did go see prisoners? Now you know we don't give a damn about George Weah. Yeah, we're not his friends. We don't defend him. We don't care about him, and we are trying to remove him from power democratically. But do you really believe that George Weah did go to Prince Johnson and attempt to pay a visit on him, previously unannounced, unexpected visit? Do you believe that? Do you?
Of course.
No. Hold on. I'm going to ask you, as a criminal justice major, I study criminal justice. I'm going to say this. Do you know for a fact, is there any way that you could independently verify or authenticate this story that is put out by Prince Johnson's party, that George Weah did try to make an unexpected courtesy call or visit on Prince Johnson? Do you know that for a fact? Can you independently verify that?
I can independently verify because I don't have proof on hand.
Okay.
But from
what's your theory?
From what have been happening behind the scene, when former Vice President Joseph Boakai and Prince Johnson met, the fear grabbed George Weah and his folks. So now, what they're thinking, they may that we say we don't want to do business with. Now the man is going to the other side, so it's better we call him back and start to negotiate with him on how we can move forward.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask you a question. You think the president, as fishy as this one is, the president, as fishy as this one is, and for those of you who don't know what the Liberian word fishy means, it means incompetent, good for nothing. You think we are as good for nothing as he is, will stoop so low to pay a visit on a man he just publicly berated? Do you think he would just for him that he will not be expecting him? I mean,
yes,
I find it hard to believe.
Costa, yes. From the backdrop of the Christian, the religious council calling them and having a conversation with them.
Baga, let me ask you a question. If you were George Weah, the president, after what you had done to Prince Johnson, would you go to his house unannounced?
No, I will not. I will not.
Exactly. That's what, would you go to? And now I'm asking you people, after everything that Weah has said to Prince Johnson, if you were Weah, would you get up and just go to Prince Johnson's house unannounced? I would not. There will be intermediaries. Exactly. Ansu Sharif, you're thinking, forget it. George Weah is the president of the country. I mean, let's look at it this way. Would you get up under the cover of darkness and go to Prince Johnson's house just like that? I find it hard to believe. I'm not saying it could never happen. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I find it hard to believe. It is my opinion. Because as it is, we don't have the facts. Boakai doesn't have the facts. I don't have the facts. We do not know what might have actually happened. We don't know. But if I were Weah, I would not have ventured to go to Prince Johnson's house unexpectedly or unannounced. I would not have done that.
Yeah, that's what makes you.
The first thing I would do if I were Weah, I would send emissaries. I would send intermediaries to Prince Johnson's first to try to do what? To try to pacify him, to try to placate him, to soften the ground, as we say in Liberian parlance. That is what I would do. But for me, the president, to just get up and go to Prince Johnson's house, I'll be like, this guy it could be a spectacle. They could do it. He could have video. I mean, you have camera there. They could record me and stuff like that. I wouldn't do that. I just thought to say what I wouldn't do. Yeah. But anyway, so in a few minutes, we will have the full panelists of Spoon Talk, formerly of Spoon Talk, on the show this morning. Mr. Benjamin Sendwave, Dr. Henry P. Bade, Mr. St. Tumalin George, and Mr. Kef Hassan. All four of them will be our guests this morning. It can be recalled that a few days ago, they all issued a joint statement in which they all resigned at Panelists of Spoon Talk. Spoon Talk is a popular Liberian talk show that has been airing for the last 2 years, going on 3. And these are the people who really helped to make the show. And they have left the platform, and they have been berated, they have been blasted. I've been reading the comments, reading the posts. I made a post that they were coming on, and many of you will say, oh, don't bring them on. You don't understand. I believe it was the French philosopher Voltaire who says, I will defend your right to speak, even if I do not agree with what you say. Voltaire. You see, when I say, they say I'm arrogant. When you are an educated, sophisticated human being, a decent, civilized person, you should respect other people's right to say, to express themselves, even if you don't find what they say agreeable. How dare you say that people will not speak? No, they will not talk. Don't bring them on the platform. Everybody deserves the right to be heard. If Joia gets up today and says he wants to come on this show, what should we do? Should we deny him?
We'll bring him on.
Okay. Everybody deserves the right to be heard. For you to say that people should not speak because you feel that they have betrayed their brother. Oh, Stanton Weatherspoon was so nice to them. They betrayed. You don't want to hear the people's side of things? I'm a friend of Stanton myself. I am a friend of Stanton's. I am a friend of Stanton's. Stanton is a mutual friend of ours. Stanton is a friend between them and myself. But they are friends. They feel aggrieved. They reach out to me. Those are friends of mine. The only person that's not a friend of mine is Kev, but I know Kev. Kev is an acquaintance. And when you meet Kev off the platform, he isn't the Kev you have on the show. The Kev on the show is a different Kev. The Kev in person is a different Kev. Oh yes, if Stanton wants to come on the show, he's most definitely welcome.
And now when Stanton Costa, the show is open. Probably they will come, and Eugene Fargo and other people that
want to come on the show, they are welcome to come on the show.
They are welcome to come on. We can send a link to you if you have.
Anybody that wants to come on is welcome to come on. This platform belongs to the public, and you, the public, should demand that we open the platform up so that anybody can be heard, and you can decide. You are the judge. You are we are the judge because we are the presiding officer. But you know who's more important? The jury. You are the jury. You people. So let them come on and say what they want to say, and let them be heard, because this is the beauty of democracy. So you dare not say, oh, don't host them, don't bring them on. And these things you say, oh, you got to be Costa, you got to be careful with Ben, we got to be careful with Ben, got to be careful with Ben. Has Ben killed anybody? Some of you are comfortable with us dealing with murderers and warlords. But all day oh, Ben is my brother. If I went to Ben's house and his wife made a delicious meal, and I would sit right there, I would eat some of that food there without thinking that he could have poisoned me or whatever. You know, sometimes it is you members of the public that try to drive a wedge between us. You know me, I tell you the truth. The thing with me is I tell you the truth even if you don't like to hear it, but you respect me for that. And I'm learning to tell you the truth in a very respectable and polite way. I will tell you the truth, but I will do so in a very respectful fashion because I respect you people. God first and you second. You made us who we are. If you don't listen to us, you don't follow us, you don't believe in us, we are nothing without you. God first, you second. But at the same time, we owe it to you to be honest with you. So sometimes you try to drive a wedge between us. Ben is my brother. You understand? Tomalin George is my brother. Among all 4 of them, Ben and I are much closer. But doesn't mean I'm not close with the other guys. I'm very cool with them. We are all friends. And so when 2 friends are fussing or 2 friends are having a clash, you try to go between them and you try to see how you can resolve it. But you don't tell the other friends that you don't want to hear what they have to say. You understand what I mean, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You have to hear what they have to say.
but Costa, if they will not bring the guys on the show, our audience will be the same people telling us that.
Let me tell you something. If Bwaga Kamara were to resign from the Costa Show today, Spoon Talk with Stanton Weatherspoon as the lead host, they would have invited Bwaga Kamara to ask him why he resigned from the Costa Show.
Sure.
When some of our boys resigned from the COP, Where did it go? Spoon Talk hosted them. Spoon Talk hosted them to ask them why they resigned from the COP. Yes. So listen to me. In this business, we are all doing the same business. If some of my employees left from me today and resigned and said that we are resigning because our boss man is a bad man, our boss man is this, the very first platform that will be asking them to go on would be Spoon Talk. You think Stanton would say, oh, because Costa is my friend, so I'm not going to host his people? No. So those guys need to be heard. This is nothing with me and Stanton. The issue they have with Stanton is I'm not a part of the issue. I'm not party to the issue. But they want to be heard. We will provide the platform for them to be heard. That is the point that I'm making. So they're going to come on very shortly, in any minute from now. They're now, my brother. Now, please. Yeah, they're coming on. In fact, that's my brother Ben I'm talking about. Some of you hate, oh, why are you friendly with Ben? Ben is my brother. We go way back. The last time I went to North Carolina, Raleigh, for a fundraiser, was it Charlotte? Charlotte, not Raleigh, Charlotte. And after the very beautiful thing, Ben picked me up from my hotel where they had an event, very nice place. We went to, this place, and we had a nice time together. Listened to some oldies and goodies, oldies and goodies, and we had a nice time. I had a couple of beers and took a couple of pictures with some amazing Liberian people. We had a wonderful time. So I'm going to say this to you. You're not going to be able to drive a wedge between me and Ben. Ben is a full-grown man. Ben has attained certain political stature in the Liberian political space than even I have. He was youth advisor to President Taylor. I was there at the Unity Conference Center when we voted for Ben Sendwave to be. He didn't know me then. I had gone representing my school, Love Care Mission, and Ben Sendwave had gone from his school, Cathedral, and we voted almost overwhelmingly for Ben Sendwave to be named youth advisor to the president. I believe it was 1998, the All Liberian Conference at the Unity Conference Center. I was a young boy, I remember, and I didn't know Ben Sendwave then, but even from a distance, I admire him. And so Ben and I have our disagreements, sometimes publicly, but we do so in a healthy fashion. But we maintain a brotherhood. Tomalin George is my brother. He came to visit with me the last time. Just the two of us sat there at my dining table. We ate, we lectured, we talked, heart to heart talk. You understand? Dr. Peabody is a decent guy. Even before I became friends with Peabody, I started following his work. He's a great humanitarian. He raises money here in the U.S., goes to Liberia, does wonderful things for our people. It's a wonderful guy. Kev Hassan, who I can't say I know personally. I think I've met Kev once or twice. And Kev is nothing like the Kev you hear on the show. So, and even Kev, I have nothing malicious or I have no ambivalence or whatever toward Kev. No, nothing, absolutely. But our politics, we don't see eye to eye. He supports George Weah and I support Joe Boakai. And I believe that Weah is bad for the country, but he believes Weah is the Messiah. So this is just who I am. So you all know me. You gotta talk about Jed, be careful. Be careful with what? Four grown roster man like me. Yeah, you taking care of me. Say, Jed, be careful with Ben. What did Ben will do? What would the guy do to me? You need to hear that side of the story. You need to hear that side of the story. And this whole thing that you feel that, oh, they are betraying Stanton in the middle of his crisis, you're so wrong. You could not be more wrong. You could not be more wrong. Listen to me, Alberta Davis Nemo. I am a leader. I don't make all my decisions based on how you feel, how your sentiments. Just because you don't like someone does not mean I should not like them or be friends with them. It does not work that way. So don't say I should look at the comments. For example, let's say I present my wife to the public. Oh, we don't like your wife. I'm going to go divorce my wife because you don't like my wife. Seriously? Did I pick for you who you should marry to? So you all think that just because you're my people, so you don't like you don't like my wife, so I should go and divorce her because you don't like her. No, I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to take everything I do. I drink water, you don't like the water. No, don't drink water. Oh, you think you will detect everything I do? You are wrong. And I'll tell you the truth. You don't decide who I'm friends with. If that person betrays me, okay, let me cry my own cry when I'm betrayed. But nobody decides for anybody what you do in your life. So let's just be clear there. Let's just be clear. Huh?
So the issue here is that everybody, all of us, we are in doubt. Even if Costa know or if I know, you don't know why the guys resigned from the Spoon Talk. Now we want to bring the guys on. They themselves can
then
tell
you don't want to hear. Then you don't want to hear them.
Yeah,
and
they
then
themselves can tell
you
you.
don't want to hear them. Baga, let me just add this to what you're saying. For those of you who do not want to hear what the guys have to say, don't listen to the show. You may leave
As simple as that.
for today. Since you don't like the topic or the guest we're bringing on today, just leave the show and come back tomorrow. That's it. But you do not dictate to us whether we should bring them on. Everybody has a right to be heard. Everybody has the right to be heard. And you, my brother, I have no relationship with Joe Weah. Joe Weah is not my friend. I do not call Weah a friend. Weah, if anything, is my political enemy. Hello, let me repeat. And I qualify the word enemy with political because it's not personal. Weah is a political opponent. He's not even an enemy to speak. He is an opponent. If anything, Weah is the one who sees me as his enemy. I don't see him as an enemy. I have no mileage towards him. If I saw Weah falling in a hole, I saw people trying to do harm to Weah, I might even try to stop it because that's just who I am. Oh man, be super Alberta David Nimo says she's staying. Stay. You know you're not going nowhere. You know you let it tease. Hey, you let it tease. You got to you know you'll stay. All of y'all who talking, y'all stay right here. Y'all like the cheese. But go ahead, Waka. You were making a point. I interrupted you.
Yeah, I was just saying it's good that we hear from them, and we are making it clear here to the other panelists that stay with Spoon. This show is open. If you want us to send you a link when the guys come on, if they are saying something that you know is not true and you want to clarify, the link is here. We'll send you the link for you to appear along with them. Don't say we tell you that, oh, we want to host a one-sided show. No, the show is open to everybody. If anybody on the Spoon Talk show now wants the link to come and you know,
Dr. Richardson was saying people want to blackmail her with her husband. And people are like, what? But what could? Okay, you mentioned husband, blackmail, stand in the same sentence. You know what you've done? You've just set off a lot of alarms. That's what you just did. When you say people are trying to blackmail me with my husband, you just set off a lot of alarms. So if Dr. Richardson wants to come on to talk about what it is people are trying to blackmail about, I don't know any of these guys that are blackmailers. So why would you be trying to blackmail Dr. Richardson, the good doctor, or cognitive dissonance? She likes the use of words or cognitive ability. But anyway, let me go and welcome my dear brother Ben Sendwave with pleasure, with wonderful pleasure. I think Ben just returned from the Bahamas. Ben, how was the Bahamas, my dear brother?
It was good. It was good. Thank you. Henry, I don't know how you do this thing, man. I'm like, what?
I know it's too early, but my body is used to it now.
Yeah.
It's good to have you, my brother.
You, Boyka.
Yeah.
The rest of the guys will be joining us. I don't think we're used to the 6 o'clock time schedule. So yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
So we are waiting for the rest of the guys to join in. Dr. Peabody, Tumaling. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Yep. Okay. I just told Doc to join us now if he can. Okay. All right. Dr. Peabody just joined in, and good to have you guys. Doc, good morning, man. Namesake?
He said, "Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you,
Yeah.
White Guy and Chairman Assembly. Good to see you again."
Sorry, I got you up so early. You ain't used to being on at this hour. We about where?
You know, this is almost. I wake up probably about 5 in the morning, so it's not really. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Let's see. So yeah, we'll start on to the rest of the guys come. I mean, we'll start on when they come. They can always join in. So let's start with you, Brother Sambi. You and I talk quite a lot, quite often, but I didn't see it coming. And then all of a sudden, somebody hinted me that you had posted on Facebook a press release from all four. And then when I read the press release and I read all signatures, when you kept saying we, I said, okay, maybe it's just my brother Ben. But then at the bottom of the page, I saw all 4 signatures, yours, Dr. Peabody's, Tourmaline's, and Kev's. And I was like, what? All 4 of these guys have resigned. And then, of course, I knew something had to be wrong. So, Ben, what is it? What is the honest, genuine truth about why you, in particular, were prompted to resign from Spoon Talk, a platform that you guys made?
Yeah, let me thank you again, and Parker, thank you. I think the last time I was here, I was a lot of the folks who tend to hate me now loved me, but you know, it's a part of the process. And like I always say, but you are right, Henry. First of all, let's state for the record that and every time I start this conversation, I like to always say, this is not I'm not here because you know we're attempting to throw anybody under the bus. These conversations are prompted from the misinformation that is out there, the deliberate and strategic plan for people to kind of twist what has happened. Those who, for whatever reasons they have. So the truth of the matter is, actually, we didn't even plan to issue a statement on Friday. We did not. We were shocked, as everybody were. It was prompted because our brother went on the show after I believe he got a call from Kev, and caught because there was this tussle between us. When I say tussle, meaning this back and forth, right? About after the meeting we had on Monday. So when it happened, Kev, who was in the middle, pretty much trying to play the role of, let's try to find a way around this thing, finally made a decision that he was not, because at one point Kev was getting ready to go on the show on Friday. And I remember we had a conversation and I told him, I said, Kev, if you do that, it will not look good, because except you saying you don't agree with some of the concerns that we have. And he said, oh, I do agree. So he said he was going to go ahead and reach out to Stanton. So he actually did reach out and told him that he was going to be standing with us, and that his condition was, because that's what we told Stanton. We said, look, call a meeting. That's how you walk out of the last one. You go ahead and reconvene a new one. Let's find a conclusion. And maybe Stanton, and maybe Costa, maybe that resolution will be, this thing cannot work, and let's part ways as gentlemen, right? Maybe that's what the conclusion would have been. It still didn't mean that it would stay on the show, right? So Kev called him and just told him, said, hey, man, I think I'm going to stand with the guys just because I think it's important, and they are the original members. And then Stanton took upon himself, I think everybody has seen the clip, to go on the show and announce that Kev had been instructed by someone who, the highest, obviously, the highest person in the Liberian government is the president of Liberia, that that this person has instructed Kev to stay off the show, and that Kev had called him crying, distress. And I wasn't watching the show. It was Timberland George who actually was watching the show when I got a call, and he didn't stop there. He went further to say that if you watch the show, he said, don't ask me about Ben. Ben and I talked yesterday. and Ben would be appearing on the show on Monday, which was a lie.
So you were not going to appear on the show?
No, my condition was let's reconvene, because the call ended, and I will go back to the call because you asked a specific question, what prompted it. That's why I'm leapfrogging ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I reached out to him, I said to him, in fact, the call me and he had on the day before, which we did have a call. Kev was on that call, and I said to Stanton, I said, look, I was very, very direct with him. I said, the guys, that our positions have not changed. My advice to you, if you want us to talk, is to just reconvene and let's come up to a conclusion. And then he said to me, Ben, Peabody and Tomlin are coming back on that show. They're done.
That's what Stanton said.
He said to me, he said, Peabody and Tomlin and Peabody and I were not on the call. It was me, Kev, and him. He said, Peabody and Tomlin are coming back on that show. If you want to come, it's fine. In fact, he even went further to say, what you did was wrong when you went on Ober's post. And I will explain that, because there's something I forgot to explain last night, this whole Ober live video. So when he said that on the air, when he went on the air and said that I was coming on Monday and that Peabody and Tomlin were just working out scheduling issues with them.
Wait. So Stanton went on the show, and told the public that you would come on when you said to him that you wouldn't be coming on.
Of course.
And after he had said, basically almost like fired or removed them from the show, but they went on the show and announced that it was a scheduling issue.
Yep.
When it was on a scheduling issue.
The video is out there, and like I say, I know people have their own reasons why they're stuck in their reality. But the reasons are out. The video is out there, Henry. He's actually said that. And so when Tomlin called me, Tomlin was furious because Tomlin had felt I had went behind their back and basically struck a deal with Stanton
to stay on the show.
Yeah. So I was like, what are you talking about, Tomlin? And he said, go and watch the repeat. You will know what I'm talking about. This was around maybe 6:05, 6:15 Eastern time. And I went and I watched the repeat and I immediately called them. And I told them, I said, this is dangerous. It's not only dangerous, it's borderline wicked, because what Stanton just did was he threw Kev under the bus. The one person who was trying so hard to see if we could stay together and just address the issues, right? He threw Kev under the bus. He didn't stop there. He lied that I told him I was coming back on Monday, which that conversation never happened. And that you guys, by the way, he told me that you were done. That's when I said we have to issue a statement, because it has to come. We cannot allow this to fester. Because the decision was, let's wait and see over the weekend, right? Let's wait for
now, Ben, before I go to Dr. Peabody, and I'm about to do that now, let me ask you, what was the issue? What was the issue that prompted him to say that that Tomlin and Dr. Peabody would no longer be coming on the show?
So the issue was when the indictment came up. I'll go very quick. When the indictment came up, we had, and before even the indictment, there were conversations we started to have about the forward march of the show, about what the show is going to look like going into the election, how we're going to do it, all these different things. And one of the things that I was pushing was the fact that we should stay more, because I kept saying to the guys and to everybody was, we're not investigative journalists, right? We were political pundits that came on and just started having conversations because we have political. And so I said, look, we need to start having more political discussions. Let's start talking about the candidates, how their chances, the different, let's start sending the people in the street to do polling, and then we can call them live on the show. Just like the team of the show. And then against Henry, this was my opinion. And this is something that a lot of people, I don't know if they don't get. People are entitled to their opinions. There were respective opinions on how this show should go forward. I remember Peabody felt a totally different way. He's right here. He would speak for himself. He felt we needed so we need to do this. Tommy said he did. What a leader does is take all those opinions and let's have a conversation and let's drive a direction of how the show will go. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to keep on the trajectory of this is what we'll do, and this is how we're going to do this, and this is what we're going to do. And so what prompted him getting upset was the fact that after the indictment happened, we said to him, there is no way we can continue to sit on this platform and act like nothing has happened. We claim to be the biggest platform. We morally grill everybody. You know, we said this will happen to this person. And in fact, when they sanctioned McGill, then we demanded the president should fire them. When Legis happened, Mr. President, fire this person. When Alex Cummings went to court, Stanton said Cummings fingered the document. I mean, there were several things, like Peabody said. There were
you guys were on a moral obligation.
We were on a moral
being hypocritical.
And the last thing I would say, and then Peabody can pick up from there. What we also stated was very clear. We don't have to discuss the merits and demerits of the case because we understand when a federal indictment comes up, you gotta be very careful what you say. First of all, we ain't got nothing to do with it. We don't know anything about the case, right? But the least we can do is to at least update our audience. Is to say to them today, you know, Stanton went to court, whatever that's going to be, even if it's for 5 minutes. But this notion that we would just sit on the platform and act like there's not an elephant in the room, there's no way we can do. And then meanwhile, we're getting bombarded. Y'all can't talk. Where you're talking, you know. So that's where the thing, and then the issue of us rebranding, because he started to bring. Every day we wake up, we load in the chat room something new. We don't know where we're going. We don't know where we're headed. So that's what actually prompted it.
All right, Mr. Sendwave, thank you very much. We're going to go to Dr. Peabody now. Dr. Peabody, you know, you're the best person, you and Tourmaline, to tell us exactly what exactly did you say to our brother and friend Stanton that prompted him to say that you guys were no longer going to be coming back on the show? What did you really say to him? And how did you say it?
Well, my friend, good morning. Once again, thank you for inviting us. Good to be here. Look, Costa, it's no doubt that Stanton got indicted. It's no doubt. It was all over the world. Everywhere you turn, even the national news and international news, it was going. He got indicted. And when he got indicted, we all were affected in some way. In fact, that morning, about 4 o'clock that morning, I got a call from somebody. And I just thought it was somebody calling for help, but I kept getting called back to back. And the person said to me, hey, you're sleeping, but I just drove by your CEO house and I saw a lot of police activities around there. I saw a helicopter, I saw everything. I'm like, nope. And he said, look, man, probably I'm missing the address. So I just kept it quiet for the entire day. I kept it quiet. It was not that in the evening I found out and things were coming up before I even told Tourmaline. We went on the show and all that day. And I just couldn't believe it. But not till late night when I told Tourmaline and told Ben that something is not right. But the fact is, we wanted to just give a hint to the public. You know, look, man, we're not going to indict Stanton. We're not going to talk about his case and form a judgment on it. But all we wanted to do was to just inform the public, hey, look, our CEO got arrested. He's pleaded not guilty, and the case is ongoing. So we'll get back to you. And that was something that he detested. In fact, prior to that, when he got released, he came back on the show that day and said, look, is there anyone here that don't want to be on the show? Is there anyone who don't want to be part of the show? I'm like, what's going on? You know, and we said, well, we all want to be part of the show. But it was damning because we were getting these calls. My family were telling me, hey, why you guys, people were calling my wife and telling he needs to get her right away. You know, people were calling all that were guilty by association, all that. It was bad. We were all affected by that. You know, we're not involved. We don't know Stanton business, but we're all affected in some way. You go out to any function, the first thing you meet there is everybody having the talking about Stanton. I went to a funeral that week, and the entire repast was about Stanton arrest. And when I walk in, they say, Peabody's here and stuff like that. So we try to engage Stanton on this. Last week, Monday, we engaged him, said, hey, we need to talk about the show. We need to just say something about the show. In fact, there's a friend of mine called Pastor Raymond Collison. He was on the show too. He was one of the original members of the show. He reached out to me. He a pastor, and the two of us talk. I'm like, how are we going to do this? Raymond, we need some to bend our head and sit here and pray on how we can do this. And I talked to him. I said, one of the things we need to do, we need to rebrand this show, honestly. Raymond said, I will take your advice. Do you want to share with him? I said, you can share with him. If he agrees, fine. He doesn't want it, that's fine. He said, but I'll share with him. And that made Stanton really pissed off. Why you have to tell Raymond that we got to rebrand this show? Rebranding was, look, we don't have that morals again to get here and say, tell people they are corrupt, tell people.
Did you feel, Dr. Peabody, speaking of rebranding, did you feel that your voices, individually and collectively as a platform and as the panelists, did you feel that your voices had been diminished, had been affected somehow by this situation involving the CEO of the show? Did you guys feel that way?
Absolutely, because honestly, for me, I was not morally motivated to get up and say it. In fact, I came on the show and I didn't even know what to say because I would just sit there and be blank. I didn't even certain things I wanted to say. I couldn't engage it because I kept what happened to Stanton. I said, how can I say this? When we brought people on the show, we dedicated people, we insulted them, we told them they were rogues, we told them they were criminal. I mean, there were people who reached out to me and said, look, I'm hurt what your CEO did to me. And there were times I would tell him, I said, look, you can't do this. Even when Dr. Cassell was indicted, I shared with the CEO. I said, look, CEO, tell your boss right now to leave Dr. Cassell office because you don't know what's going to happen to you. I was just saying something. You don't want that, But he refused, and that made him pissed off. And he went farther by blocking me from the show the entire week. Since Tuesday, I was not allowed. In fact, in the chat room, he took us out. I was not allowed. Even the notification that comes on my phone for the show, he took that off. So I had no access to getting on the show since Tuesday. His point was to get me off. He didn't want me on his show no more. He didn't want me to be part of his show and stuff like that. I mean, and that's what happened, So it's not that we just made an abrupt decision. We're trying to engage him, how we can change.
Let me say something to you, Dr. Peabody. You all know our people, the Liberian people. The reason a lot of them feel like you guys betrayed Stanton is because Stanton is going through the most difficult period of his life. Mm-hmm. And Liberians are very, we got our ways, but we are very sympathetic people, very sympathetic. Now, they feel that you guys resigned at a time when he's going through this problem, and they feel that you abandoned him. And so, which warrants you coming on to say what happened. And I like that you guys have done that. Right. Because you all didn't abandon him. I know what I know, but it's not my place to say it. Right. I know what I know, but you guys are very well capable of communicating yourselves. And I'm glad that you guys appeared on FAL last night and you were here. And some people are saying, but you already have said what you said, but that was a different platform. This is a different platform. Yeah. FAL has not even been aired on radio. You have been listening to thousands of people back home in Liberia and on a number of platforms. So people have to write. So that's when you see them bashing you guys. Oh, you guys betrayed him. No, you have the right to decide to be self. For example, the public didn't know that Stanton had already fired you, Dr. Peabody, and Tourmaline, because you expressed yourself and you told him to stay in the back. Is it true what we've heard? That there were times while you guys are on the show and you would say certain things that Senator didn't like, he would mute you or he would remove you from the live feed. Is that true, Dr. Peabody?
Oh, yes, that's very true. He was in the back, but he controls the entire show. He controls the StreamYard. So
did you guys have a say in, and Ben, and the both of you need to answer these questions and please give us short answers. Did you guys have a say in who the guests were that were appearing on the show, or the co-panelists that were appearing on the show? And did you guys maintain a chat room did you communicate? Did he communicate these things with you guys? Did you have a say in who came on, what was said, and stuff like that? Ben.
So to a certain degree, and let me say this. In fact, again, like I said, the record is out there, the shows are out there, they're all recorded. You can go on the show. There was even a show that happened, I think it was the same week. no, the week before, and Tomlin was saying something. I forgot what it was. And with the moment we looked, Tomlin just disappeared from the screen. And then everybody was like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Then we were like, oh, maybe it's, because we'll always kind of say maybe it's internet issues and stuff like that. And if Kev is saying something he doesn't like, you would just hear the person get muted. Then it happened to me, And I remember clearly when it happened to Tomlin came back on the show. Again, like I said, the show is out there. Tomlin came back on the show and he was like, whoever's doing that nonsense, I actually literally had to give Tomlin a look to kind of say, compose yourself. I mean, we're on live, we're live, because Tomlin was furious. And he said, whoever doing that nonsense, they need to stop. This is crazy. And we knew it was him, because I used to see in the back when he's, when he was there. And part of that also have to do with the fact that I think there was all these conversations about, because I remember when we had a meeting, he said, when I raised it, because I even raised that issue, I said, also, you need to stop micromanaging and pulling things from the back, like moving people on the screen and stuff. And then he even made a comment to me. He said, you, Ben, you stay off the show for 2 months. You come back, you won't talk all the way through. And so I was like, are you kidding me? Really? So yes, we did have a chat room. People don't even understand. I mean, there are many days we used to have, like I said, this conversation about rebranding and redirection did not just start because an indictment came up. The indictment just escalated it, because it almost like an opportunity presented itself, because at the end of the day, we were like, listen, we now have a moral authority to be able to rebrand this thing, to be able to say, listen, take a step back. And the other things, Kev, Henry, that we told Stanton was, this is for your own good. All the people you see clapping and talking and doing, first of all, like you really said, and listen, our people. Right now, everybody's like, oh, in fact, the day of the indictment, I was watching one of your shows, people were scolding you. Oh, you want to talk about anything because I have a friend. You this. So I
know that. There's people who are battering me for not talking loud enough.
I was watching the show at one point. In fact, Boyka had to scold somebody who wasn't listening to the show, called in and say, oh, you don't talk about it. And then I think Boyka, you said, if you didn't listen, don't comment, because we already gave the updates, right? So there were people, some of the people who are now on the quote unquote prayer ban were the ones who were telling us to resign on the day the indictment was issued. So look, all of this, it's almost like you have a family, right? Family tree can bend, it can break. All of the different, I'm sure you and Boyka have your internal discussions. I'm sure you know there's certain things that will happen. You would say, okay, listen, this one with this one. That's not something you would bring to the public, or that's something you would say, oh, you know what, I'm gonna quit because of that. The only reason, I repeat, the only reason why we came out publicly and issued that statement was because of the action on Friday. And we felt it was necessary, because we knew that if we had not done that, it would have come across as, one, Kev is the bad guy. He government and call him. Again, everything apparently was maybe being done in the angle of it being showbiz, right? Kev is gone. The government called him to leave the show, which was not true. And so we felt it was important for us to come out and do the things that, and issue the statement that we issue, and that's what have led to today. And lastly, I will say this: it also has to do with the fact, again, like I said, there will be people there are legitimate people out there who have legitimate concerns. I even heard Boyka ask, the guys owe us a larger explanation on what's this internal disagreement, because the statement was vague. Let's be honest. It was put together very quickly. The statement was very vague. I heard, Boyka, I was watching one of your shows when you said the guys owe us the opportunity to tell what this internal disagreement was. Is this just a smoke screen that they use, and stuff like that? So, like I said, there are people out there who have legitimate concerns, and we felt that it was important to come out to talk about this. And this is, and like I said, not a movement to come with bashing or throwing Stanton on the bus while he's in his hour of despair.
All right, brother Sammy, thank you very much, brother. Tumalin George has just joined us. Tumalin, good morning and welcome. It's good to have you here. Let's hear. So Dr. Peabody has spoken. So has Ben. Let's hear from you in your own words. Why did Stanton decide that you were no longer welcome on the show?
Good morning, Costa. Good morning, Boyka, and good morning to all Liberians in radio land. Thanks for the opportunity to giving us to come and hear our side of the story. Well, honestly, like I said last night, I felt bad. I felt betrayed in a sense that I confronted Stanton with this issue before, and he told me that if he dismissed me and told me that he don't want to hear it, and I should think about anything, I shouldn't tell him. I should keep it to myself. So when that happened, I was furious that because I unexpected. I didn't expect to hear what I heard about his indictment. I thought that everything was just fine, so I had moved on. But then when I heard, I was caught by surprise. So I called the first meeting of the guys in our chat room. I called our meeting and I said, look, this what's happening right now is concerning all of us. Some of us were caught by surprise, but especially you have told us individually that we should never worry about such a thing to happen. And so we all thought everything was fine. So I called the first meeting and I asked that question. I said, look, will Spoon Talk continue from here? And he said, instead of answering the question, let me ask you guys. Are you guys willing to stay on Spoon Talk? And the entire team said, yes, we're going to stay on. He said, you guys will stay on, Spoon Talk will continue. And it's not a problem. So I said, fine. So all along, as when every day we come up there, we kept meeting, we kept discussing in our chat room, but the same code of public opinion that some are attacking us now or saying things about us, were also pressuring us to talking things about this matter, and we're getting us in a severe pressure from every walks of life. Okay, so we said, look, we can't continue this way. We have to sometime engage the Liberian people, and then come out and speak up. And then we said the senator should at least step aside so that we can be free to continue to go. He can still play his role in the back, whatever he wants to do, but the idea in the face of the show, it will be a fine thing. So apparently he took offense to that. And in the last meeting we called, he went after Ben. He said Ben wrote a post on some post, some post, and he said Peabody talked to the pastor that we should rebrand. So he was very furious and went after them in the meeting. And the meeting.
Let me ask you a question. Ben is a full-grown man. He doesn't live with Stanton.
Exactly.
So was he trying to imply that he had to approve of what you guys said wherever you went or wherever? I mean, did he try to control your lives or your thoughts in that way? Did he have a problem with Ben posting on Obed's post?
Oh, I mean, Joe, you said it appears that way. Yep, it appears that way.
Tommy, can I just talk about this Obed post quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
Since it's nonsense, it brought up. So Obed, I got tagged. Of late, my phone literally just buzzed. Everybody tagging me in stuff. So it's one of those things. You know how when you get tagged, you click on it and you just go on to the show, right? Obed was doing a live. Obed was doing a live, and he's I'm sure he's probably watching or something. He can confirm. When I clicked on the thing, I went on the show. You know how when you go, by the time you go on the person thing, it can say Ben Senvi is following or something like that. Ben Senvi is watching. He saw it, and then he said, "Good, Ben is watching." And Obed was saying, according to what he was saying, was that all of us, all the members of the panel, except Dr. Richardson, are getting a fake degree from Stanton School. He said, all of y'all, I heard it say, all of y'all got a nursing diploma from Stanton School. So it was funny to me, to be quite honest with you. And I actually, like I told the guys, I said, you know what? I hardly comment under people's lives. If there's something you know about me, even you talking about me and you talking about, I would never comment. I would just watch and listen and amuse myself because I know myself. This is the space we find ourselves in. People are entitled to their opinions, right? I remember I went under and I wrote and I just said, really? You know? And then I said, Obed, I am many things but a nurse. That was that was what I said. And then Obed said, okay, thank you for saying that. And I actually just logged off the show. That was the issue that Stanton had. Like, and asked Tommy what I said to him. I was like, first of all, the question you just asked, that was the question I asked. First of all, do you approve what I say and who I say and what I say? Well, you were wrong for saying you were anything but a nurse. I said, listen, I will repeat what I said and I will comment and I will say that anytime or any day. I am a lot of things but a nurse. So that was the that was the issue that happened with Obed. And Tommy, you can continue. I just felt it was important to make that clarity.
Yeah. So and Costa to make things faster, and it was a point we started having the disagreement, and then later on he came up with this thing about schedule. He would come in the chat room, write a schedule, say, Tommy, you off today. The person. So it was like when we started this, at this crucial time, difficult time we are going, you bring a schedule, certain people will be off, then you put in guest panelists that you bring in to fill our space. We're like, no. So we started having this disagreement, and I was like always pushing, like, look, let's be honest, you can't do this, and so forth. So because of that, he started to have separate meetings with certain other guys on the panel, and excluding me and Peabody. He continued the next morning, we got up, saw ourselves, what in the chat room. Next thing, we're blocked from receiving the link. So we knew that, yes. But then his goal at the time, I was trying to, he was telling Ben and Kev that, and that really saying that, look, someone and people are not coming back. But he wasn't telling us though, but he's telling them they're not coming back. But in the chat room, I mean, out time, but he's telling them we're not coming back. So after Ben told him that if the guys don't come back, we can kind of come on ground, I will not come on the show. So, but then Kev was trying to be the mediator and so forth. But by the time, the minute it came to that point now, he decided to convince Kev. But when Kev told him that he wasn't coming back, that's when he started to go on the show and say that we'll be appearing the following week. So, I mean, it was like, we just could continue in that manner because he wasn't agreeing to have a peace.
Express yourself.
Yeah.
Suggested that rebranding be done.
Yeah.
Suggested, pleaded with him that the show should address the issue of his case, not going into the merits or demerits of it, but just to talk about it for informational purposes, to be seen as credible. And he had a problem with that.
Exactly.
And folks, let me ask you, those of you watching and listening. First of all, there's freedom of association. People can choose to associate with someone today and they can choose to not associate with them tomorrow. Secondly, you can rush to make your conclusions. It's up to you. But these guys talked with Stanton a whole month after his verdict, after his thing went public. Even I, as a friend of Stanton, I was still checking on him every now and then. Stanton, what's up? Are you okay? You good? He said, yeah, everything is fine. Some of you blasted me for not speaking loudly enough about Stanton's case. Now, these are the same people who are blasting these guys, who have not come and told you that the reason they left is because Stanton had already kicked two of them out because they expressed themselves. Now, guys, I don't know how you guys put up with this for long, but I don't think I could have worked in that kind of environment. Why there's my co-host. I don't dictate to him what to say, who to support. Sometimes he publicly disagrees with me on the platform. It's okay. It's always been that way. But again, it's only fair that they hear their side of the story. It's only fair that their side of the story is told. And we're very glad to have the three of you here today. I want to say this. You all made that show what it became. Ben Sanvi, Dr. Peabody, Brother Tomalin George, you guys, come from, you all brought a lot to the table, collectively and individually. A wealth of political experience, Dr. Peabody in the humanitarian field, and Tumatin George way back with the founding of CDC. Ben Sendwave went up to the level of chairman of the third major political party in the country. And so, we lost Tumatin. Let me bring it back on before people think I'm acting less than and forgive me. but Sender is our friend, and I like to say this to you. Just because he's our friend doesn't mean that when he wrongs the other friends, we will not talk or we will not hear those friends out. Sender remains a friend. Just because he's our friend and he's in this situation doesn't mean that other people cannot be injured by him. And if they feel injured by him, they should not speak out because he's going through his crisis. We all empathize with him, and we wish him and his family all the best. Stanton has his shortcomings, but he's not a terrible human being. But he has offended our friends. And I personally feel bad because I reached out to them. Now, some of these things that they explained to me, they are not new to me, but it was not my place to say them. I have been hearing some of these things. I've spoken. These are all my friends that I have a lot of respect for. And so, they got to the point where they made a decision they could no longer stay. Now, this whole divine rule thing, where he was trying to get Ben to stay and kept to stay, but kicking the other guys off, that was not cool. If there is an issue, try to resolve it, let everybody be okay. But that was not cool at all. And the one thing about me that you all should know, when my friends are in the wrong, I tell them the truth. Some friends have actually taken me to court. So that one, everybody, y'all know that one. Me, I don't care. My head doesn't fit in anybody's mouth. But I'm going to come back to you, guys. At what point did Stanton begin to exhibit these tendencies that you guys are talking about, controlling, dictatorial, and stuff like that? At what point did you guys notice that? Because the show became a very powerful platform in a very short period of time, thanks to what you guys did. At what point did he begin to show that? Like, I'm the boss here. I get to decide who comes on, who doesn't come on. I get to mute you. I get to say when you appear or when you do not appear. At what point did he begin to exhibit those tendencies? Ben, I'll start with you.
Well, let me say this. When we first started, and when we first started to work with Stanton, I mean, I would say even up to the end, everybody have their pluses. They have the assets and their liabilities. Everybody have their pluses and their minuses. No one is perfect. As we got to know Stanton, one of the things that we all knew and we used to laugh and joke about was the fact that we used to say spoon talk is his life. That we used to vote Stanton and say, my man, take a break. Like I used to always vote him and say, I mean, you better take a break. They plenty talking will not finish. Like real problem will not finish. You got to take a break. Let this thing, go. On the issue of him being controlling and stuff like that, obviously, he was, he had his opinions. He was stuck in his ways. There were times where we will have conflict. What we did do was we exerted a lot of effort in protecting it from the public. But if some of the people who are even talking want to be fair and honest, some of them saw it. Some of them saw it when even on live a TV. They saw how sometimes he would say certain things. But at the end of the day, listen, Costa, I'm a comfortable man in my skin. I tell people that all the time. I'm me. I know what I bring to the table. So nobody intimidated me. Nobody put me in a box. Nobody made me feel like I was inferior to them. I said there were many times privately, me and Stanton had conversations where I told him certain things he was doing that I did not like. There were times, I will be fair, he adjusted his behavior. There were times where he will call the crew and maybe he would make a joke out of it because something told me, he say, Stanton, you know how to tell somebody sorry. He literally don't know how to, if he wrong you know how to say, my man, I'm sorry, right? What he would rather do is he would kind of come around in a joking form, and then you got to literally say to him, say, listen, you wrong me, bro. All you got to do is say sorry. Then you'll be like, okay, my man, whatever, man. Let's just move forward. So again, like you rightly said, Stanton Costa, he's a good guy. He's not somebody who we're trying to. But the point here is when Spoon Talk started, and I think because we had grown so big, a lot of things happened so fast. a lot of things. I mean, the fame, we shot to, you know, I mean, the platform shot to prominence very, very fast. And so as a result of that, I think a lot of things that happened, it was like a fast moving train that we could not. But I will say this before my guys come in, the rest of the guys come in. We also have to accept some responsibility here. And one of the things that I said, because this is exactly what I was saying to Stanton on the call that we had with him. I said, part of leadership is absorbing responsibility to take stock of where you are, what you have done, what you can correct, how you can correct it. We would take some of the responsibility here, because you know what? Maybe some of the things that he did, we overlooked it. Maybe we turned a blind eye to it, and we were like, you know, the typical thing we do as Liberians. Oh, my man, our man, that's just who he is. You know, like I always let us say, let it be is what got Liberia where Liberia is. You know, that's just how we can add, man, that person. So I would say that I believe personally we will absorb some responsibility here for, you know, for some of the behaviors and encouraging some of the things, because there were many people who came on that show and left. Abdullah Ketamba is one. Moriah Yakula. There are many people who came on that show and left. And the primary reason for them leaving had to do with Stanton's behavior. You know, but the original guys, we who were the original crew, we made a determination to say, you know what, this is our baby. We will protect it. We will guide it. We'll continue to make it work. Because one thing we all can say is that our time on Spoon Talk will come to an end on the day the next president of Liberia takes the oath of office, because we're not career talk show hosts. We came together because we wanted to have conversations about the politics.
Thank you, Ben. Dr. Peabody?
You know, this, if I can, Costa, this was ongoing in terms of Stanton cutting you off, removing you from the show. I think this was ongoing. This is what Stanton liked to do, you know. But I was hoping that with the new cloud over his head, the indictment, that would have calmed Stanton down a little bit and let us just control things and work with him. We didn't leave when Stanton was indicted. We stayed there. In fact, we went through the hard week. You know, when something happened, the first week, especially for Liberian, man, you know, we stayed there. We stayed as long as we wanted. We came on the shore, you know. But this controlling and saying things and putting it back, you know, he made a lot of people to know what Modelo is, because sometimes if I disagree with him, he been drinking some Modelo on fair grain and stuff like that, you know. So we learned to work with that. But what I thought was the indictment would have calmed him down. You know, gentlemen, you know, I'm not that. You guys going to help me out. And we stayed there. We didn't just leave, you know. But when you shut the person down for a whole week and say he can't come back on the show, what other alternative you had? Just to say, you know what, I'm out. Some people say, why he didn't say it when he shut you down? I mean, you were watching the show. Everybody was, why is Dominic? Why is Dr. Peabody? Why is Ben? And stuff like that. You know, we were hoping, knowing him, he would come out, my man, you know, this to stay on. But he shut us down 1 week. So, and then when he came back, because he put people under the impression that he was bringing us back, we're coming back next week, but he was still saying among the other few that we're not coming back. So I'm like, you know, this is a waste of time. I resigned from the Spoon Talk. I don't want to go there. So this is something that was ongoing. And, you know, as Ben said, we just played it down. But it was nothing new, because a lot of people that came on the show had to leave, or if you didn't agree with him sometime, he get upset and things like that. It must be, I mean, if you just flow what he wants to do or what he wants to say, if you flow with it, you're good to go. And that's some of us were very uncomfortable with
that. Chief St. Tomalin George, you want to chime in there? At what point did it become unbearable?
Well, you know, Costa, like my fellow colleagues have said, we try our best from the day someone got indicted. We were always trouble with that. We were all psychologically affected, and we try our best to hang on, to encourage him. But like the other guy said, honestly, you would think that what happened to Senator would have calmed him down in everything, but apparently it made Senator to be more like show that arrogance and a lot of stuff. Like he would attack this person in the meeting, go after this person, and so it was like maybe everything's going fine with this dude, because
I thought things would be fine, but we try to just be a voices of reasoning and to keep things going. But he's not interested in that. So we'll move on until he started this divide and conquer stuff, trying to like put this person against this person, having separate meetings with the colleagues, with our colleagues and so forth, to split us apart. I don't know what was his intention, but when all that was going, it was just shocking. And so, like people said, we couldn't just continue to stay off the show and what people will ask the question to me, what happened you on the show today? What happened to the person on the show today? And we thought that the Kev trying to mediate. We thought the organization, everybody would come in and say, look, let's try to put things together, but it wasn't happening. And if I even talk to his pastor, the pastor is a good friend of mine. I talked to him and I said, look, this is what happening. And maybe you could come in and try to see what you could do too. Pastor said, look, I will have to drive back there. Because the pastor said, I was Super Bowl with him, and I've been visiting his family and be encouraging him, praying along with him. So I will try my best. I will try to go back and see, but the pastor never got back to me. He said I was going to make a move to go back to see what best, because I don't think it should be this way. The pastor was a little bit, so I expect the pastor did not come back to me. But then, like, we just couldn't stay every day. People asking me, why you not coming? Why you not coming? And then I just can't answer the same question until what happened on Friday, and we left. But Coach, I want to say something here. You know, I see wherever we say, wherever a platform we go on to explain our side, people have an opinion already. Some people they fix already, and they are just cherry picking some of the things we are saying from what happened over the course of the years and running with it. Like most of the time, you have people say, "Oh, you guys were enjoying fun." Yeah, tell me, people that's involved in this business, if a man tells you that, you ask him, he said, "Look, this is what I do for a living," and you go and you see it for yourself. You go to the office, you see everything is fine, everything is set up, nothing. You see, you have no suspicion of anything happening, or you see it for yourself, and you see that everything is fine. Every year, it's saying the same thing, but we're not seeing nothing happening. And the man says, "Don't even tell me about it." So everything is fine. So tell me, who in this life will be involved in this business, and if they say, for instance, let's go Liberia. Somebody pay to go Liberia to go do work for your network. Who would I want to go ahead? You go ahead. So people are just cherry picking because of our good times. I want to look at our good times and cherry picking on it and making their own opinion. But really, like I said, those who believe will believe us. Those who want to believe us will have the mind made up. So we just
and I just want to say, Tommy, and I mean, I don't even listen. I'm not even gonna.
And Ben, sorry for interrupting. Wakai, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fire away. Wakai, you know you always ask some questions that don't come to my mind. So you go ahead.
Maybe we'll answer most of the questions for program.
Yeah, but Ben, just finished making your point.
No. I was just gonna say, look, I'm not Tommy. I know Tommy. Tommy has the. He. I can always tell you. I say sometimes when you're on these shows, we have all the other guys always strengths and our weaknesses, right? Like I can always tell Tommy, I said, Tommy, let me give you an advice. When you're on these shows, just put on private chat. In StreamYard, just put private chat. Don't read it. Don't read the comments, because if you read the comments, you will go crazy. You will go crazy because
that's true. But Ben, some the people you expect to say these things.
No, listen. But Henry, I always say this. I mean, I've been in politics in this political space since
comes with the territory.
17 years. So this thing comes with the territory. Some of the same people you see were right crazy that will come in your inbox. Oh my man, don't worry. It's part of the game. And like I say all the time, I am honestly humbled. I actually do feel humbled that people take time out of the day to write to really construct posts about me. It tells me, they say, my parents, they say, when nobody talk about you, it means you're not important. So I know sometimes Tommy say, even the notion that, we were getting paid. Like, first of all, do you know how many political analysts get paid to talk on CNN? And I was very clear. You expect me to sit down on a platform for 3 hours a day and think that it will be done. Listen, I don't know about you, but again, Henry, even you, Henry, I mean, you're on this platform. You get your ads, you get your you say
that's how we make money.
Exactly. So what's this all thing? Don't worry about it, guys.
How we make money. Yeah. And everybody knows that without you guys on the platform, Stanton alone could not have made the platform what the platform became. Period. Everybody knows that. Stanton alone could not have made the platform what it became in so short a period of time. He could not. It took the collective and individual efforts and talents of each of you to get it where it became. That's the truth. If he alone had started that platform, I'm not saying it couldn't have gotten big, but it would not have gotten as big as it became almost overnight. That is the fact of the matter. Wagai, you may ask your question, my brother. I know you've got some questions you would like to ask.
Okay, so I stand to be corrected. People Bank just let the public know that you guys were taking pay on Spoon. At the end of the month, there was something coming. There was a benefit coming. So, my question here is, all right. My question now is, when did you guys notice that Stanton was in controlling of this entire Spoon show? Was it when he became indicted, or he started this before he could become indicted?
When we say who, what was the question?
Anybody can answer?
Well, the thing is, it was
when I said earlier that he became controlling of the entire Spoon show, was it?
Well, as I said, it was ongoing. Yes. We knew that it was ongoing. You know, I don't want to come in.
I already asked that question. I thought you would ask a question that I didn't ask. But anyway,
you know, we knew it was ongoing, but we just sat in there because we knew who he was and stuff. I mean, I don't want to get into Stanton's personal character here and talk, you know, and stuff like that. But we knew it was ongoing. You know, it was something that he would do. If you don't agree with him, he sometimes will take you off. If you have a heated argument, he will, you know, kind of mute you and stuff. So, you know, those were things that were ongoing. But as I said earlier, we're hoping that when the indictment came, he would have calmed down a little bit and let us just run the show. You know, I can't do what I used to do before because I had some problems, but that didn't change. And when we engaged him, that when we were technically fired until we resigned, the fire other than we resigned later. You know, so that's what it was. You know, but it was on.
Eugene Fagon may have. One of the reasons that you guys left was because you asked Stanton to get him off the show. Is that true?
I think people know my position on this thing. Like I said, I don't.
Anybody?
First of all, let me stop. Let me say, because I said something yesterday. It was trending. Look, I choose not to dignify, you know, someone who said that he drank cyanide or they poisoned him with cyanide and the person is still alive. You know, I'm just being honest with you.
Who survived cyanide? Ben?
Yeah, the gentleman who we're talking about.
Jesus Christ. Cyanide is one of the worst and most deadly poison.
You know, but the truth is, Henry, look. There's people who have come on Spoon Talk. Again, like I said, I'm comfortable in my skin. I don't know if I can't argue with you, if I can't debate the issues with you, why should I feel, you know, no one? In fact, there's a famous conversation we had, and Tommy, all of us, Kev had asked, he said that Eugene had, I think, said something about his mother or something. And that he didn't want Eugene to stay on the floor. And we all voted against Kev. And we said, no, we want Eugene to stay on the show because, you know, he has a way of bringing his own little spice. You know, he would bring I don't always agree with him, but he got a way of bringing his own little spice. He would bring his board and talk about his senator's playbook, which we laugh about and we all talk, you know. So no, it never happened. And I can understand what is going on here. There's a point. I think he has taken up the mantle to come across now as the chief defender. And remember, this is the man who wanted to close Spoon Talk down, or Spoon down when he was deputy minister of information. So it's just funny. But again, like I said, this is a part of the discourse that we find ourselves in. There's a lot of this back and forth. But I got to answer your question. That's not true. Nobody said there were concerns. I will say this: there were concerns about, some of the things that he would say, right? Some of the conspiracy theories that he would come up with, and like I said, I mean, hey, this is somebody who said he drank cyanide, or somebody poisoned him with cyanide, and so, but that's it. Eugene's a friend. I'm not gonna to dignify that. I understand what's going on. And we're big guys. We're big boys. We understand this is a part of the ploy. I mean, he's the front and center now. So let him continue. I mean, it's no big deal. The good thing now he got, Spoon Talk is his platform now, right? So it's good. Yeah.
Baga, you have any other question?
Yes, my last question is my last question. Is there any plan of you guys hosting your own show? If yes, how soon would that be? Because there's the news in the corridor that there's a show coming up by you guys, and it's sponsored by Mr. Alexander Cummings that will be aired on Sky FM and Musa Blade.
Did you say Mr. Cummings? I hear that President, we are sponsoring the show. Now you said that Mr. Cummings. But maybe maybe it's going to be a show. Maybe it's going to finally be a show that bring all the opposition leaders together, so they all get sponsor a President. We are maybe that. But no, I'm just go ahead.
Boy, that's a good question. Honestly, in fact, when this thing happened, while we're still with Spawn, people kept reaching out to us and look, you guys leave and you guys go. You got a main need for yourself. All of you guys are people who people listen to all what the country and so forth and around. You guys go form your own, you get your own platform. And so, but we're not thinking about that at all. We said, no, man, we'll hang there, we'll talk, we'll take this truth. And like we have made a plan and said, look, we just doing this thing now after the election. After the election, we'll drop the mic and we'll move on to different things in our lives. We'll be done with this whole thing. But as soon as we left and so forth, I will tell you on Friday, my phone, since Friday, it just buzzing. People in your inbox. And you'll be surprised. The people that in the private sector that reach out to us says, look, you guys can have your own platform. We love this show. We love it. You guys should not you shouldn't walk up. You shouldn't give it up. You guys can come on for your own platform and you guys can make it. So yes, people have reached out to us and made some offers to us. So, but again, people saying again, some people say, oh, the government. Some people say the opposition, the other person will do it. As I was one of they call our papa and JMB to say he was to do it too, because they are through everybody out there to us. But we will be coming on our platform. We're working on things. Yeah.
I think you guys need to, especially in these.
Will it be relay on?
Baga, can I? Okay. Baga wants to wear relay.
Relay.
Trust me, though, we want people to relay as. I mean, that's the election year.
Baga, let me ask you a question. If Musa Pelete wanted to relay our show, what would you say? Answer my question. If Musa Pelete wanted to relay our show, what would you? I know
Musa Pelete would never want to.
Costa Show. So, one question here, Costa. If Musa Pelete wanted to relay the Costa Show, what would you? Because you and I got to make that decision. What would you say?
I will welcome the idea of relaying the show. But the question here, Costa, is this. My question here is, Musa Pelete is with the CPP, and Musa Pelete is the owner of True FM, and then they will be relaying a show on True FM, Sky FM, that is financially supported by Mr. Cummings. That's what I'm asking this question. Well, are they coming up with a show soon? If yes, will be relaying their shows.
If the possibility exists for us to come up with a show soon, we will. But you know our position from the Spoon already. Some will call me by name. When you talk about CDC today, they say you're sold to the CDC. When you talk about ANC, they call you ANC Peabody. When you talk about UP, all of that. But I think some of you guys know our position on the show. I mean, I was on that show basically to speak the fact, and I was now quick to jump to conclusion. I was not quick to form judgment on people. I would just say it as I see it, as I know it should be, and I'll say it. People didn't agree with me, but sometimes But I think we're there for the fact, and I think they speak for. I mean, from the calls and the messages I have received, it showed that our president brought a great impact to the Liberian people, and that's
it. Definitely did. It definitely did, gentlemen. Listen,
And
I want to, Ben, before you come in, please, I want to say this: we are in a very, very, very crucial election, and you guys have become, some of the very key pundits that the public listens to. The public may not always agree with you. They never always agree with anybody, but your voices cannot be silenced at this time. You cannot not be heard. You have to be heard. And I really want you guys to come back on as soon as possible. I was once with Hot FM, DJ Blue, my brother. We're very great friends today. We're family. Breeze can pass between us, Blue, myself. But the way I left because I kept being pulled off the air. Mm-hmm. And some people don't know what led to the starting of the
I remember Costa. Yeah.
It was Blue's idea to put me on the show, period. I never proposed to him. He did that, and that relationship between us will never, nothing can come between us. But the history is this. I kept getting pulled up, and I agree. Sometimes, and I went a little too far. I can can throw some pretty hard punches, and Blue would come under pressure because he did not only, his radio station was doing much more than a talk show. Was not the thing he started doing.
Yeah,
Blue was a businessman. Blue is a great entertainer, promoting a lot of talents. So when he brought the whole politics thing in, it became difficult for him, and I can understand that. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh yeah, you were bad. He pulled me up 3 times, the 4th time, and one day I was very despondent. And I'll tell you the story how we started our radio station. And then Bob Ben, Mr. Ben and I, that day he said we should go fishing. He, myself, and my cousin Musa Sakor, we got on the boat from Cardwell on the boat. And this was to be a beautiful day. We were on the boat. We got some cold beer. We're trying to fish. And I'm supposed to be enjoying myself, but it was as if my mother had died again for the 2nd time. There was only gloom and doom. And then Ben and I, Mr. U.S. said to me, Mama Henry, you can start your own radio station. Oh, I didn't believe I could. Let me be honest. I didn't believe I could. I felt like it's too much to start a radio station. But he told me, you can start your own radio station. Blue is our brother, our friend, yes, but you are bigger than being on somebody else's station now. You can start your own. And I didn't believe in myself then. I'm going to be candid. Mr. U.S. said, I'm going to make sure you start your own radio station. He had a couple of old equipment, broadcasting equipment. He had already rented a place there on Ashmore Street. And before you know it, in 2-3 weeks, bam, we were on the radio. And Blue and I are great friends. Go ahead.
And just to add, many people now who clap for you were your fiercest enemies, right? They were the greatest critics of you. They were the ones who used to bash you. Look, it's a part of it. It's a part of the thing. But Boyka, to answer your question, I know you asked about what channel. I mean, what to do. Listen, if it does happen, which I believe more than likely it probably will. We're looking to get air on as many as possible, many as possible, and we will be. And this is not going to be a radio station we're starting. That's the first thing if we do start one, right? It's not. We're not. I can tell Henry Costa, I say, Henry, you have something special, right? You to run this whole outfit is something that is very special. But I will say this. I agree with you, Henry. I think there's a need to continue to keep our voice out there. There's a need to continue to chime in. Everybody's not going to agree, and I like to call this. I have a very famous slogan. I say this is the silly season, right? Where friends become enemies, enemies become friends. People form unholy alliances. And guess what happened? Right after that day in January, we all act like nothing happened. Right after that day in January, once that president is inaugurated, we act like nothing happened. We act like go back to our normal behavior, and that is the uniqueness. And I don't think it's just unique to Liberia. I think every other country in political season, they have their time where people get a chance to go back and forth. But again, like I say, it's a part of it. On the issue of whether people attack, so like I always say, there are 5 million Liberians plus 5 million plus. Hopefully, when we get the census result, we'll know the exact number of Liberians that we have out there. There's a whole wider audience out there.
Yeah.
There are people who never comment on these pages, on these shows, but they're listening. Yeah, they're listening also.
Thank you, guys. But we would like to take a few calls. Just 5 calls before we let you guys go. Just 5 calls, please. 5 calls. Buckeye, please. We can't do this all hearing from our people because it's very, very important that they hear from our people. Like I said, all these guys are friends of mine, including Stanton. Stanton remains a friend, but we can disagree, and we must maintain a certain decorum. We have to respect one another. We're all grown, responsible gentlemen, and we have to maintain that respect. Mutual respect is very important. Senator will remain our friend. These gentlemen can go and start a brand new platform and still be friends with Senator. DJ Blue is a brother of mine. I can never, ever, forget the fact that he encouraged me to come on radio. I say that all the time, and we're great friends. We're family now. Mr. Uri, perhaps if DJ Blue had not come under pressure to kick me out for the 4th time, Mr. Uri would not have encouraged me to start my own radio station. So you see, sometimes you got to get kicked out of a house so you can go build your own house. So I mean, the thing is, yeah. So yeah, but we are all friends. But one thing we all can agree on is that these voices cannot be silent during this very crucial period. They need to be heard loud and clear because we need as many voices as possible. And while you may not always disagree with them, but you know why you always watch them and listen to them? Because you know what they say makes sense. You enjoy the healthy, fruitful dissent or disagreements, and that is the kind of democratic culture that we need to encourage. We need to encourage that. And somebody was asking whether Fangon is welcome to come. Fangon is welcome. He wants to come. Fangon is our man. We put Fangon on radio first. Mr. Uri put Fangon on radio first. When Fangon started his thing way back from the store with the chalk bowl and stuff, it was Benani Uri who put him on radio first, before he then went to Liberia later on and joined the CDC and all of that. So Fangon is a friend of ours. He's a friend of ours. And so, it's okay. But let's take those 5 calls quickly, 1 minute per caller. So 5 minutes, after which the gentleman will give their closing statements, and then we'll call this a day.
All right, now take our first caller on this line. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kamara. Good morning, leader. Good morning to our guests in studio. Good morning to our many listeners. Martina Konadia, Costa Princess on the land this morning. I want to say thanks to the panelists for assessing yourself on the. In my own opinion, I'm not called to ask questions. I believe they are really is not legit. Because everything they say about Mr. Waterspoon, for me, I stand with them. They did the honorable things, but if they say, man, controlling the men like this, any of the show. We that been watching, we've been following. Not only today, this man is very controlling. He don't even know how to talk to his colleagues on the show. And you people, as y'all tell me the Liberian people, we leave because the show lacks credibility. We see reason, but to say the man is controlling, the man like this is false. Okay. You people stay there, other people allow themselves to be controlled by men and women, but you people choose to be there and could do everything that Mr. Waterspoon did to you. All so right. your accusation is not legit, it's false and misleading.
Thank you, Martina. Let's take the second caller from this angle here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you,
Bwaka. Let me say good morning to the panelists. Now, as I've cleared it, this is Justin Kingba, and I'm phoning from the Ralph. I've clearly getting their point. Their argument is that they wanted the show to be rebranded, which only true. With this kind of charges hanging over center, I think the new thing that Mr. Waterspoon needed to do is to put it out instead of they themselves suggesting to offer himself to set a start on the show so that the show can be rebranded. And that rebranding should even include the change of the name. Because we care against the government, the FBI are investigated. Hillary Clinton or involvement into Libya is not small thing. So I think they did. But come back on the media again, they have to be very careful as well.
Right. Thank you.
This way this statement will appear on. Now, when the election goes to the war, they must hopefully lose great numbers of times if they don't
Thank you so much, Jason. Let's take this person on the line. Good morning.
How you doing, Parker?
I'm okay. Your name is joining us from?
I'm Thomas William calling from Minnesota.
Now call number 3, right?
Yeah. I did not come. Well, I called to clarify.
Yeah.
A fact. Do with what Ben and others are saying on the show, it's not correct. As it relates to putting people behind, placing people behind the screen, it was a unanimous decision agreed by all of them. I listened to Ben one time. Nobody who came up to her, he was telling Kev, if you misbehave, I will put you at the back. So that was something agreed upon that anybody who misbehaved was going to be put at the back. I can remember, I think Moriah was put at the back based on that consensus where they go to that meeting and they decided it. And all of them agreed on the show. Several times, Ben was written and other people moderating, they said anybody that step will be put behind the back. So it was not something that was unanimous article.
Thank you so much. Now take this person from this line. Good morning, welcome.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Your name is joining us from?
Good morning, brother. Let me say good morning to the leader here in Petro Costa. Let me appreciate Ben Smith and Dr. Pete Valley and someone that joined this morning for the topic on the discussion. This is Bobby Abu Mesa. I call for this to take the rule. When I listened, actually, when I saw the release from Ben Sandy, actually, some of us that day that Ben Sandy and others want to betray something Waterspoon. But due to their exposes on the Costa Show this morning, it clearly shows that he was a complete dictator on that show. And what bothers some of us to see people like Dr. P. Valley, people like Tony Joe, that will hold ARSC will let Ben Sandy, who has a very good character within our society. To see them eating and bathing with Mr. Waterspoon. Some of us left the show because one of the following show used to call. So somehow we left the show, we deviated.
Thank you so much. We have to hold you on a line and take this person. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yep, your name is joining us from?
Yeah, this is Melvin Beckett and I joined you from India.
That's the last caller. Okay. The last caller.
Yes. To the point. Let me say good morning to my brother Benson Villa in the studio. Ben, I have a question for you. You see, you guys knew that this is the attitude of Mr. Waterspoon. I must say I've been following the Spoon show every time, and most of the time we always see this kind of attitude coming from Mr. Waterspoon. You guys, Kiatama, he left the show, Mariah on the show, she has to leave the show based on the same attitude from Mr. Waterspoon. You guys said that you accepted it. But now that Mr. Waterspoon is in this kind of a situation that you guys can see that Mr. Waterspoon is this kind of an individual who don't accept next person opinion.
I don't know. Hello?
We have to go.
We could take
some people are asking that we increase the number of calls, but but the guys have to go and we have to go. We've been here much longer than we normally are. Than we normally are here for. Bwagai, we have to close it. Gentlemen, let's come to you to give your parting comments. We'll go to Chief in George. And then we'll go to Dr. Peabody, and then we'll come to Brother Ben Sambi to close up.
Again, I want to say to our dear friend and brother Herman Costa, thanks a lot. Bogart, thanks for giving us the opportunity to come and hear our side. Like I said last time, I will say again, no matter what we say, how we say it, people have the informed opinion about us, and that's fine. That's good. That's fine. But the good thing is that my family, my friends, and those who who really have some high regards for us. They come in and give us encouraging words and we move on. And so people will say some things. Well, that's fine. They can carry on. It's true that many people have some legitimate concerns that we should have some mistakes were being made or made some mistakes along the way. It's true, especially when we notice things were, especially when how controlling he was and all the stuff was going on. We should, and like having rules and some policies in place for us to guide us. So but like we said, we'll take a cue from that, and going forward, we'll do better. But we have heard our side of the story, and Liberian people can, in the court of public opinion, they can decide whether they accept us or not. But I do know that I stand by my decision I took. Everything I did was done by the dictates of my conscience, and I have no regrets, and I remain truthful to my own beliefs and so forth. So we want to say we wish Stanton well, wish him and he has a family the best, and as he go through his legal woes, we pray that God would take control of whatever he's going through, and let God will be done. We don't wish him no ill will. And finally, we are having serious discussions about going having our own platform, and we look forward to that in the coming weeks, and to continue this national discourse about our political future of our country. So you guys will see us again, and we'll see us, and we know that those who are now talking, like somebody said, after a few weeks, they will come log into that platform again to listen again. They will come and make their comments again, and so forth. So we get used to it. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you guys in Liberia soon, man. Okay. Hakuna Matata.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Tamale George. Thank you very much. We're going to Dr. P. Buddy.
Well, Brother Costa, thank you so much. It's been an honor being part of your show this morning. Let me say here that modesty and humanity are strength. If you're humble, it will take you a long way. I personally did not leave the Spawn Show until I was fired. I was blocked from gaining access to the show. I was cut off from every chat room for almost 5 days. So I had no alternative when that announcement came up to join with the others and to resign. But again, our prayers, our thoughts, and our best wishes with our friend and brother Stanton. We will pray for you as I do every morning. I keep him and his family in my prayer. There's no doubt that Stanton helped a lot of people around time. And, we pray. Nobody wants to rejoice in somebody's problem, for somebody's problem. Nobody wants to see his friend going through some difficult time. And that's one of the reasons we stopped there with Stanton, because we know if we just leave, it will be a tough thing. But we stuck with him, and we'll continue to pray for him and trust God as he goes through this difficult time. Thank you.
Dr. Peabody, thank you very much. You spoke very well. It's true. Benton is our friend. We want the best for him, and no one imagined, no one wanted anything bad to happen. In fact, when the news broke, we all wished it to not be true. That was my initial reaction. I woke up that morning, I was like, I beg you, this is not true. This cannot be true. And we still wish it to not be true. But again, we don't control that. We'll come to you, Brother Ben Sendwave.
Thank you. Thank you, Henry. The meeting we had, when we started the meeting, I said to Stanton and the rest of the guys, I said, this is going to be a very consequential conversation. It's going to determine where we go from here. It's going to be a very tough conversation also. But no matter how tough this conversation will be, what we endeavor here today is to find a direction. And again, I repeat what I said. That direction could have been, hey guys, we started this journey together. Sometimes people start journeys, they don't end it, right? The Costa Show. The Costa Show didn't start with Boyka Kamara and Henry Costa. It didn't. It didn't. But the Costa Show is still...
It started with me and my brother Dumoy.
You know, and I tell people all the time, I'm a student of history, so I get a chance to know all these things. Because I will first interview Tawombe on the Costa Show, and Tawombe put for him off.
Exactly.
And actually said, and Tawombe actually said he was never going to go on the radio again. You remember that Costa?
Yeah, but Nata all over the place.
Nata is a prolific politician. He's ran for office and stuff like that. That is the beauty of
we live and learn.
That is the beauty of evolution. And I know our people have a tendency to be stuck in their feelings. Because you are right, Costa, this is a very consequential election. The country is extremely polarized. Extremely polarized.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say, and like the rest of the guys have said, Stanton is a brother. I still consider him one. But family have disagreements. That's what I said. People start journeys together. They don't end journeys together. Spoon Talk will always be a part of our story. Spoon Talk will always be a part of our lives. Because, like I said, we built something. Many people took exception to some of the things that happened on Spoon Talk, but many people loved it. Many people loved it. And so, like Tomlin said, and the rest of the guys have said, there has been an overwhelming. And that's when somebody said to me the other day, somebody called me yesterday and said, we're following on Facebook. Are you okay? And I laughed. I said, because as much as there are a lot of messages and these comments out there, I'm also getting a lot of messages and calls of support. Not because, we not die or something, no, it's just, okay, are you okay? So,
awareness check.
Yes, the election will come and the election will go. We will all be here. I always like to end on this note. My favorite quote, and we pray, we like everybody said, we stand on well. We said it in a statement, but we are also cognizant of the magnitude of the crimes that he is alleged to have committed, because they're victims. There are people who lives got affected by this. So we don't want to seem insensitive to that. As we pray for our brother, we also are cognizant of the fact. But my fundamental quote that guides me, that keeps carrying me everywhere I go, believe it or not, is a quote by Martin Luther King that says, in the end, we will not remember the voices of our opponents or perceived enemies, the ones who are loud, the ones who are castigating, but we will remember the silence of our friends, the ones that we call friends that's supposed to pull us by the side and say, stop, don't do this. That quote, Henry, and many people don't know the relationship me and you got. That was sometimes I see them beating up on you. But it's that quote that drives me, because in the end, I always tell people, you will never say Ben did not tell me. You will say he told me, but I didn't do, or I didn't act on what he said. But Henry, I want to thank you. I felt it was important that we come here. That's why when we reached out, you were gracious enough, because we want to get this story out there. And like I said, there were legitimate concerns, because the statement left a lot of people wondering, okay, what are the internal disagreements? Are they leaving in his hour or move? And I can see that those who want to believe and want to understand, want to take an objective look, have started to do that. Those who are stuck in the mindset, that is fine also. We are all entitled to our opinions. The only thing I say is that you respect mine and I respect yours. But I thought this was a fascinating conversation. And Kev just texted me, say he just woke up, so he's sorry. He was at one spot last night, so He said, I'm gonna tell you, Costa. He said, I'm gonna tell you, Costa, the reason why he couldn't log on at 10 minutes before the show could end.
Yeah,
but
thank
you.
Well, gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much. I want to say thank you for your contributions to our democracy. It's a tough thing to be where we are. Some of you, yeah, joining the thing here. Y'all are in other ways. You know, Ben, you've been in active politics, chairman of a major party and all, but they told you who's been here. The last more issue that a people, brother, enjoy. Y'all been in the politics. I mean, kind of you people. You've been in the humanitarian work. You've been seeing politics but it's tough. It's tough, you know. But then again, it's like a porcupine gut relationship.
Yep.
You too greasy to throw away, but you too bitter to swallow.
Yep.
We all are porcupine guts. Yep. One day they beat up on us. The next day they love us. So it's a wonderful thing, gentlemen. But hey, I hope to see you guys back on very soon. And folks, don't be surprised. And I am all 100% for seeing these gentlemen back on the platform. And they will be back on very, very soon. We all need to do this thing here together. So folks, I want to say thank you very much, gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doc. We appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it. It was a fantastic thing. Porcupine gut, right? That's what we are. One day y'all beat us on y'all beat up on us. The next day y'all love us. Yeah, my brother Thomas cried there. When Thomas cried, get ready, he would deal with me. One day he was dealing with me. I just tell him he's small. He reached out to me to my inbox. He said, my man, you my own brother. You put me in the spot like that. I gave him a taste of his own medicine. But, you know, we love you all, you know. My brother Thomas Cry and all of you wonderful, wonderful people. We love you. We love you all. But it's not easy what we do. It is not easy. You know, sometimes we toss on a certain way, like they get fat. Like right now, my own people tell me why I said I took my post down. People are asking me, but I took the print, I was in post down. The meeting with the old man print. People, why you must say it? People ask me to explain why. I said the American people reach out to me. They say they're not happy. Then, right now, they tell me. In fact, a lot of people calling me this. They say I traitor, I this, I that. Yeah, the people. You know the people who call me the traitor the most? The people who call me traitor the most? The people that call me traitor the most are people who are within the hierarchy of a certain political party. And they will be thinking, oh yeah, Costa, we can't trust Costa with JMB. You can't trust Costa, you know, and I said this. And they're saying that in the chat room. Yeah. They're calling me all sorts of names. Let me tell you something. Jesus Christ came on this earth. He gave the ultimate sacrifice. He died so that we may be redeemed. The Prophet Muhammad came and brought Islam, a beautiful, peaceful religion. We all praise the same God. People persecuted him, went after him. The people will say the nastiest things about you. You know, but just do what you believe is right. Let your conscience. You know, so what's the organization? You know, you look at me, Pedro. You see, me, I'm a traitor to JMB. Then you call yourself a serious person in the chat room. And some of the people who say these things, if I were to call a name, so we're in the chat room, they're calling me names. So these are well-known people. I mean, some of them are not that well-known. They're in the chat room. They say nothing to me. But you know what I told them in that chat room just now? I said, nobody born of a woman in this chat room can go and convince JMB that I, Henry Costa, am against them. Yeah. They say that all the time to me. The people I sacrifice for, the people I fight for, at the end of the day, when their political leader wins the election, I might not even get a job. Or I might not even get the job that I want. I'm not even trying to get a job in the executive branch of government. But those people, they are the first to throw stones at me. But only if they knew how their political leader feels about me. JMB knows my heart. There is nothing any one of them can say to him. When you're talking, he will just listen to you because he knows what he knows. And my heart for JMB will never change. My support for him will never change. You all can say whatever you want to say about me behind my back in the chat room in front of me. JMB will never see me in a different light because JMB knows. He knows how much I care about him, how much I want to see him become president. So, you don't know so many things that we go through. Yeah. And know what I'm talking? Most of them, they're not doing nothing to help JMB win the election, but they're the one can call the people who are doing the most. They will call them all the things they say. Y'all ain't know what we're going through. Y'all know what we're going through. I say this to you before I go. The people I depend on the most are the ordinary people. The ordinary people, they don't envy me. They either like me or they don't like me. But they don't envy me. They must say, don't go drink beer together. They must say, the ordinary people are the people I trust the most. The so-called friends who are our peers, they are the people I can't leave my liquor near. If I meet one fan on the street, then oh, Pedro, you hawked me. My security people won't stop. I can leave my drink near that fan or that supporter and go. But the people, some of the people that we're working with, I can't leave my drink near them. Some of the people we're working with, I can't go to the hall and eat food there. I'm telling you, because they put it right in my face. You look at me, Pedro, with everything that we are doing to help JMB get to the mansion. You look at me in the chat room, you say, I Twitter. Then all the you tell, oh yeah, the man at Twitter. You think we know you're trying to bring JMB down. May God punish you. May God punish you. That my effort and my sweat will lead to you getting job in government that I'm helping to bring to power. And you call me Twitter. May God punish you. May God punish you. You don't even know what we go through every day. You're working with so haters and envious people. May God punish you. Small-minded idiots.